When we've spoken in the past, we've looked at previous technological advances at CES. You know, vehicle-to-vehicle communications, that was a big hurdle that needed to be overcome. In the last year, since we last spoke, what's the big hurdle that Ford's overcome?
I think the idea that we're approaching the digital city, so to speak, with a systems approach. It's not like just automation or vehicle to vehicle or vehicle to infrastructure. It's putting all those pieces together because now the technology is coming to fruition. I mean, in 2021, Ford's going to have a fully automated, dedicated vehicle, but not only that, a whole business is delivering through automated vehicles, goods or people. We're going to have 100% of our vehicles connected in North America.
Those vehicles, are they connected to each other or are they connected to the smart cities? Because I can imagine a lot of the tech that you want to do, where you integrate with emergency systems and things like that, that's going to require a lot of buy-in at the municipal, provincial, and federal levels too.
Yeah, so connecting the vehicles is just the easy part, to be honest. The more interesting part is what they're going to do when they're connected. And yeah, absolutely, e-call, emergency services will be part of it. I think your question is more fundamental than just emergency services. It's will the city know how to inform your navigation system on where it should go based on only the traffic now, but the traffic where during your trip, and also what's best for the city, not just for you. And I do believe that discussion is going to intensify a lot. Like, we have a lot of engagements with cities right now. We have a group that does that exclusively. And we are so impressed with how many cities are starting to think about the system approach. With all the data coming from the vehicles and the automated fleet, they want to use that data to make better decisions, not only for people but also and goods, but also for movement and congestion.
Okay, a weird zig when I think you're going to expect me to zag. One of the most ridiculous movies I've ever seen was Hot Tub Time Machine. And then I went out and I saw the sequel. And there was a line in it where the guy of the future calls his car. And the guys from the present say, "Wow, you own a smart car?" And the response is, "No, nobody owns a car now." To your point about fleets, someone's got to own the car. Who is Ford selling cars to down the road?
Well, it depends. I mean, we still think there's going to be very vibrant, private ownership of vehicles for many years to come. But in the city center of Toronto, they're going to be fleets owned by Ford. They're going to be fleets owned by all sorts of companies. And those fleets and more will be automated. And those automated vehicles are going to be working most of the day. They're never going to take a rest. And for us, we are going to have what we think is a compelling system, because it's not just about delivering people through an automated vehicle, it's also delivering goods and integrating with the city. So I think we're going to be selling to more and more complex, groups of people, more and more fleets. We're going to be owning fleets ourselves. Now, that's something we do today. We're the #1 commercial brand in Canada. So we sell F-Series, we sell transits, small transits. So, those customers are our customers today. And we will keep doing that, but now maybe we'll own the fleet ourselves as well as individuals.
I wonder if at this point one of the biggest hurdles you have to overcome has more to do with psychology of those either walking down the street or pulling up at a red light. Like we're next to this vehicle right here, which you used as a test to get a sense as to how people react to looking at a car and there's nobody driving it. How do you overcome that?
Well, it's kind of it's a very interesting question, because you go to a place like Pittsburgh where the Ford Argo AI is there, and other companies have been testing in parts of Pittsburgh, autonomous vehicles for like a couple years. So people don't even care there. Like, they are totally used to a car with a driver who's not manipulating the controls, or even no driver. But in other places, they're like, whoa, that car has no driver in it. And we've learned a lot from that. But generally people are really quick to adapt, technology if it's reliable and safe.
So if I am in an autonomous vehicle, I suppose if I don't have to worry about doing the driving, what am I going to do? You guys have a relationship, of course, with BlackBerry, and BlackBerry is critical in the center console. Uh, I guess infotainment's going to be that much bigger for Ford, and what I'm going to do if I'm not keeping my eyes on the road.
Well, I think, for ride hailing, which is only part of it, I mean, we really believe that moving goods, just like moving people, that's like a really big part of the automated platform that we're building. So let's talk about moving people. I mean, people are going to do what they do today. They're gonna watch Netflix. They're gonna do work. They're gonna do all sorts of crazy stuff. And someday in the future, we may have AVs that are specific to whatever they want to do. Maybe it's exercising. I don't know. But I think it's going to give everyone more time. It's our most precious thing is our time. But I think that's really exciting. But how you're connected is going to be more and more important. For example, if you're in that autonomous vehicle and you only get the connectivity you do on the sidewalk, well, that's not great. So people are going to be looking for these automated vehicles to have upgraded connectivity in them because they're going to want to watch their Netflix.
So I'm curious, because you've come back to the whole idea of fleet management and specifically using this to deliver products from point A to point B, in 2021, how many fleet vehicles are you going to sell versus personal autonomous vehicles?
So no, we think most of it is going to be fleet autonomous vehicles. The kind of road to partial automation, level 2, level 3, that's going to continue. All companies, Ford will have all sorts of great choices. We've been on that road for many years. City stop, automated parking. You could find that in all sorts of Fords in Canada. But fully autonomous vehicle like a level 4 that's geo-fenced, we feel like most of the people who are going to own those are going to be people in the business of running those AVs, like Ford.